live online from the Halifax Forum. It is the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championship Final. It features the Hants Warriors taking on the Bedford Blues. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dan Hobson. The the West Hants Warriors. I'm almost going to have to put a quarter in the jar every time I say that. The West Hants Warriors, 23-0-1. Nova Scotia Mainland Hockey League first place, and of course they were the Nova Scotia Mainland Hockey League champions. They defeated the Tassa Ducks 3-2 in a shootout here in the playoff round, semifinal number 1. Their path to the final is they started off with a very good 7-1 win against the Sydney Steelers, a 3-3 tie against the Halifax Hawks, 3-2 winners over the Pictou County Crushers, and then yesterday is a game they want to forget about, 11-0 loss to the Ducks, and as I said, they bounced back with a semifinal win earlier this morning as we are underway. Starting goaltenders, it will be Jackson Hurley there for the Bedford Blues, and for the West Hants Warriors, it is Chase Kroll. The officials in charge of this one is Riley Graham, the head referee. Tyler Whitley is the other. Linesman Phil Patterson and Alan Allaker. Puck out neutral ice area. Fletcher trying to settle that bouncing puck down there for the Warriors and can't, and they'll go back in their own zone. Leopold now. That's through the feet of Fletcher. He just lifts his skate out of the way and gets it to the big man, William Shields, who loses a puck. Miller now, he's Mr. Clutch, according to head coach Greg McDonald. When you need a goal, who do you rely on? Cohen Miller got it, and that's the reason why they're here in the final. So that will, of course, segue into how the Bedford Blues got here. Second place in the Central Minor Hockey Federation, 18-7-3. They are the silver medalists at the Atlantics and provincial champions from last year. And they had their championships start off with a 4-1 win over the Halifax Hawks, and then a 4-4 tie against the team that they played in the semifinals, the Glace-based Miners. 3-0 win against the Pictou County Crushers, and then a 16-2. It sounds like a baseball score or a football score, as that shot there by Giswald doesn't come through. And getting a stick on that one there and getting his first touch of the game is Hurley, and he covers up. A rousing applause here from the Blues fans here that are in attendance. And as I said, 6-4 winners in semifinal number 2, the Bedford Blues. And as I mentioned there on Twitter, at Dan Hobson 12, not much in terms of a history. They did meet at the Jordan Boyd, but that was like at the preseason, and that was like months and months ago. So not much of a history, and it's really nothing much here than just who wants it the most. Winner take all. LeBlanc spinning away. Up there is Shields there, forcing the issue there for the Warriors, trying to come with a loose puck. There's a bump along the boards there by Mackenber. Want to say hello to the people watching back home in Mahone Bay. Of course, they're supporting their hometown boy, Keaton Jodry. He wears number 8 here for the West Hants Warriors. Had a chance to talk a little bit there to Jodry's parents, who have made the trip up, and they're fantastic people, and had a chance to chit-chat with them before the start of this one. And, of course, also had a chance to talk to the coaches from the respective teams, as I mentioned earlier. And one of the things that the West Hants Warriors want to, emphasize is that their hockey association is relatively small. 43 players in that area compared to 300 here in the Central Minor Hockey Federation. So they do a lot of traveling, going over to tournaments and everything like that. So it is quite a heavy parent commitment getting their sons and daughters to the game. Jewett there, that's blocked there by Shields. And he'll backhand it, send it down. One of the keys there to the West Hants Warriors' keys to victory is to keep the game simple. If you've got nothing, don't try to force something that's not there and then end up giving up a goal. When they said and this according to the coaching staff led by Greg Riley, when we try to get too pretty, that's when things get out of hand for us. The shot is stopped there, is coming down. The wing there was Giswald, and Hurley makes the stop. Good pace to this one. 11:29 remaining here in period number 1. The championship is in the building. The banner is. Who's going to get their hands on it? Started off with 7 teams, 120 players, and now we are down to 40-2. Sangster can't come up with it. Millett has to spin around to come up with it. Here's a loose puck up for grabs. Miller, and a big save there by Kroll. Captain Clutch, sometimes maybe his name here. Leopold actually collides with Bell. Now she'll go off for a change. There's a pass picked up here by Giswold. The shot there as they try to go top shelf. To no avail. There's a deflection. It goes over the net. Giswold has looked pretty good here, the early going. Blues know they have to pretty well contain number 9, William Shields. Maybe people may be tuning in for the first time. 63 goals in the regular season in the Nova Scotia Mainland PeeWee Hockey League and 15 points in tournaments. So 11 goals in those tournaments, 49 in the regular season. And he was lighting the lamp here at these championships. And that's basically going to be the determining factor. Talking to coaching staff, if you keep him under maybe 3 to 4 points a game, you stand a good chance of winning. And that's what the Blues have got to do, is really, make sure that he doesn't get anything going, because he definitely can be a difference maker. LeBlanc now going wide, and in behind, wrap around, and Kroll right there. Read that all the way. 9:48 remains. Here goes Shields, and you can see he's got some speed to him. Shields now crossing the line. He's going to draw a penalty. Hits his own teammate Sparks in the back. And the first penalty of the game going to go to the Blues, and that's just what he does, is he forces things. Emmanuel will go to the box. For the hook. Power play is brought to you by Atlantic Acura. It's the first one of the game, and McDonald wanted an explanation. And he's getting one there from Riley Graham. Whitley points there to linesman Alan Elliker, so they're getting ready to drop the puck. Miller just ties up the stick there. Puck comes back to McAbur. Sends a little bit of a saucer pass there to Razzo, who was the player of the game in their win against the Ducks, to punch their ticket here in this final. 1:40 remains in the Emmanuel hooking penalty. West Hants disorganized, and Buffett tried to find the hole and can't. Gets it down just inside the blue line. There's a steal by Miller. He has Millett with him. Millett going to the net. Got the pass. Swing and a miss. Short-handed chance there. It's the most dangerous chance so far in this Atlantic Acura power play. And it belongs to the team that's short a man, and that's the Bedford Blues. And here comes Giswold now. Razzle there. And a nice stick there by Manning. He's got family watching in Prince Edward Island, Alberton, to be precise, and it's going to be brought back outside the line on the offside. Minute 1 remaining in the Emmanuel penalty. 8:39 remaining in the period. So the game plan for the Warriors, as they said, keep it simple. And then for the Bedford Blues, they're just going to continue like rolling all their lines there and keeping pressure on. Speaking of pressure, 45 seconds, and Manders has the puck here. Sparks was at the point when Manders was up there, and nice heads-up awareness. They were trying to poke it to where Sparks was as she was trying to switch positions with Manders, and now they're down low and behind the net. Penalty starting to wind down. 25 seconds remains in it. Shields out here now. Assesses the situation, tries to go cross ice, and Chandler was right there. And LeBlanc is up here, got in behind the D. Will he get a shorthanded chance? Trying to at least kill seconds off the penalty. 5 seconds left. It gets outside the line. Perrier lost it momentarily. And now the penalty's over. 0 for 1 on that one. And probably the most dangerous chance belongs to the Blues as they had a good short-handed opportunity in the middle stages. McCarron with the dump in. Backhand goes off. West Hants Warriors getting organized in their own zone, but they just get it outside the blue line, turn it over, and the Blues regroup in their own zone. Perrier can't handle the pass, and up comes Shields, makes a nice move. Shields now driving down the middle. He has the other Shields and Giswald there, and Blues player goes down. He's slow to get up. Believe it's Manuel. Emmanuel is slow to get up. He's finally back in the play. And in the feet of the player there was the puck belonging to Leo Jewett there for the Blues as he was spinning around, couldn't find it momentarily. 6:36 remains here in the first period. Once again, no score. Warriors Blues, the PeeWee Championship final here in 360 Live. My name's Dan Hobson. Here's Leopold, and she was about ready to dump it in, and she blew a tire. Shot there by McAmber, stopped there by Hurley. 6 minutes and 20 seconds remains here in this one. In the opening period. Blues fans have got the road jerseys on, the blue jerseys here, cheering their sons, maybe even girlfriends, sisters, whatever. They've got the jerseys on and watching this one in the stands. Referee telling the move, they finally do. As the puck goes in behind the goal, McCarron there as Shields couldn't get there in time. Once again, Warriors pressing there, down low. Shields, where is he getting this from? He's hauled down. There's a penalty coming up, and another one coming up here to the Blues. They know to get a jersey there on William Shields. McCarron to the box for body contact. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura with 5:41 remaining here in the first. Face off, an easy win there by the Blues, and they'll send it down. Warriors getting organized, and they get it up there to William Shields, and he'll put it through the middle. It's picked off by the Blues and sent down. This is where the IQ of these Blues are pretty smart, and that's one of the things that Greg McDonald also talked about Miller for his team is, just finds the ability to get open, and his hockey IQ is really excellent. Giswald now can't pull the trigger. Nice defensive play there by Buffett. And LeBlanc gives out a souvenir just behind the Blues bench. 4:51 remaining in the period, and 70 seconds remaining in the penalty to McCarron. Davison, he had some successful numbers against the Tassa Ducks, hoping maybe to do the same here against the Blues. As I said, no real prior history besides the Jordan Boyd way back when. Shot by Giswald, and he puts it right into the netting. Was it deflected there by a Blues player? Doesn't look like it. We'll bring it outside the line. Bit of a scramble draw. Emmanuel will find the lane, and back down it goes in behind the West Hants Warriors goal. There they come up the center ice. And the assistant captain there, McCullough Messam, lost the handle there, and it's sent back down. Maybe one final chance here on the Atlantic Acura power play here for the West Hants Warriors. 4 minutes remaining here in the period. Not much going down. Nice work there by Mackenberg to use his feet there, the fancy feet, to knock that one down. Penalty now at 7 seconds, and not much as the passing lanes are being really shut down here by the Blues, but they may have something this time with Davison. Penalty is over. Sparks was driving towards the net, doesn't get the pass. That one's through Leopold's feet and will go back down. A smart little system set up here on the PK there for the Blues and really made it difficult for the West Hants Warriors to get anything going. Shearer with the nice steal just inside the line. Leopold will keep it in. Mathers will send it over the far side board. Shields there. Makes a nice move to get away from Millage. Shields now. Goes in behind the goal. Shearer now. Leopold gets back on her horse. And she'll have to here as here comes Miller of the Blues. Wrist shot right on and no rebound. Chase Kroll. 2:55 remaining here. First period. Not a bad crowd on hand here at the Halifax Forum. Blues fans trying to get their fans going. Getting a little bit of a wave. It's not on camera right now, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Play back underway here at the Halifax Forum. 2:45 remaining here in period number 1. A steal by Razzle. Razzle trying to go, can't get through Emmanuel, and the Blues back, stopping that for the meantime. Warriors had to wait a bit, they had man trap. LeBlanc loses, keeps on going, a stick has been lost. Now the West Hants Warriors are going to be down a man as they are going to be penalized here for a trip. And it's their first penalty of the game. Atlantic Acura power play coming up here for the Blues. Nobody making their way over to the box yet for... Yeah, there's a man now finally into the box there for the West Hants Warriors. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura. Miller. Clutch is basically going to be his new name from now on. There's a sharp angle shot there by the Blues, and that's stopped there by Kroll. Chandler right on the doorstep, right close, right in the kitchen of Chase Kroll, and Kroll, cool as a cucumber that time, makes the stop down low. Miller and Shields on the draw. They're going to get to know each other here in this game. Blues keep it. McCarron trying to put it through. Knocked down there by the Warriors. Let's see if Shields going to get on his horse and get a shorthanded chance going. He'll put a shot in. A stick save. Steered aside easily there by Hurley. 1:18 remaining here in the power play. Chandler with the dump in. That hit the outside of the net. Fans started to react. I did as well. Nice shot there by Miller. There's a big loose puck. Scores. Millet tips it in the rest of the way. It's 1-0. Atlantic Acura power play goal time. 13:35. We saw the goals come early in the round robin portion of the championships. Now they're coming a little bit later here. We've seen that in playoffs. Millet, 13:35 on the power play, 1-0 for the Blues. They're ready to drop the puck here at center ice. LeBlanc and Shields. Actually, it's Giswald. Matthew Shields will send it in. Of course, they'll revoke the services of Austin Hood, who got a 5-minute penalty, so I have not seen him here today, so he got a 5-minute in yesterday's game, and it probably makes him not eligible to play here in this playoff round. Perrier tried to kick it to his stick. LeBlanc follows up, has Sangster with him. And that gets a piece of his stick and goes towards the corner. And we're under a minute to play here in the opening period. Perrier trying to come up with it. He collides there with Matthew Shields. Also back there was Porter Kroll trying to come up with a loose puck. They're backhanded, having difficulty. And Giswald was hoping to go after the Razors. LeBlanc says, kept it in momentarily. But back come Kroll and the Warriors, but not for long, as it's snuffed out by the Blues and sent down. Leopold has difficulty, and the pass there too far there for Giswald, and it's sent back in. The Blues will now complete their change as we have 12 seconds left here in the opening period. Play just outside the blue line. Amaral trying to pass it to Chandler. Chandler goes down, and that's how this first period ends here. Millet, 13:35, has the Blues up 1-0 after the opening 15 minutes of play here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Championship Final on 360 Live. Referee Riley Graham at center ice to drop the puck here for period number 2. Blues leading by a score of 1-0. Even strength to start this second period. Sparks getting a little bit of room here to get something going here for the West Hants Warriors. Lead pass up ahead. Doesn't work out for the West Hants Warriors. McCullough Messam out there looking for a loose puck. Now it's the Blues, and here they come the other way, led by Chandler. Chandler has Emmanuel. He can't get a stick on it. And getting back just in enough time to hassle was McCullough Messam. Speaking of McCullough Messam, he'll backhand it and holding the line. Nicely done there is Mathers there for the Bedford Blues. Once again, Miller with a backhand and stopped by Kroll. Kroll would definitely like to have, of course, that one that Millet got back. It was the one that he didn't quite get all of, and Millet with the tap in. But you take that one away, he has been pretty sharp here in this one. Hurley's had a few touches, but really nothing much in terms of sustained pressure here by West Hants Warriors. They've done a good job so far after the opening period of keeping William Shields is not much of a factor, and the longer they can do that, the better it is for the Blues and maybe potentially winning a provincial championship. Walsh back out center ice. We'll leave it for Miller. Miller trying to spin away here. Walsh gets the return pass from Miller, and here they go. Miller goes cross ice, and Miller on the Jets once again. Manders gets by him, and he gets a wrist shot and a glove save there by Kroll. Minute and a half gone here in period number 2. Warrior fans, as you see, they're on the side that our camera is on, and those are some tired parents as you take a look as Neil focused back just a little bit more on them, and they do a lot of traveling for their players, and as I said earlier, the association really appreciates their efforts here of getting their sons and daughters to the games. And really, that has been sort of a remarkable story, this team. As I say, the association with 43 versus the Central Minor Hockey Federation that the Blues play in, 300, and so many teams and short drives to go to get to games. A big effort here. So it's not only just the parents or the kids that are going to win the championship, maybe the parents as well, successful in their hockey careers as LeBlanc gets a shot and stopped by Kroll. One and done, and West Hants comes up with it. But they get it just outside the blue line, sent back in by McCarron as whistle stops play. Play will be brought back outside the line on the draw. Giswald Davison. In Sparks, this forward line here for Warriors, Miller, Chandler, and Perrier for the Bedford Blues. A lot of whistles so far here in this second period. A good pace to the first, but sort of seemed to come to a little bit of a halt here, early stages of this period. Bell with the tap up there. Tried to hit Chandler, and right on cue goes into the bench once again for another stoppage. Party atmosphere for the Blues, and they have something to really be celebrating right now, but West Hants Warriors want to be party crashers. Let's see if they can. Trailing this one 1-0. Giswald now has looked good. Tried to hit Davis, and Davis was going in behind the net, so they had two players in behind the goal line. So I'm not sure how anything offensively could be generated there by the Warriors. Poked in there, nice stick by McNamara, keeps it in, but Blues get possession. Here's Manning, Xavier Manning, defenseman here, and maybe a future Bedford Baron in the Nova Scotia Major Bantam Hockey League. Davison. Of course, a lot of players here with the West Hants Warriors could be suiting up for the South Shore Lumberjacks. And the Nova Scotia Major Bantam Hockey League. The team that won bronze at the Provincial Championships last weekend in New Glasgow. Ref tells them to move it. And speaking of moving, here comes LeBlanc and the Blues. Chandler! And that missed. They had the nice setup, they had the nice dash, but the finish, and you got to finish, and they couldn't. There's a turnover. LeBlanc! They went along the ice, didn't miss by much. Couple of turnovers here by the West Hants Warriors here in the second period. Shearer can't knock it down there. Here's Manders now with a chance. He'll go high off glass and just outside the line. It hit the linesman, and now the Blues will come back in, led by Millett. Millett can't get that one through, and that leaves the mark there as Manders is down. It probably hit him in a place where they don't have padding, and he is feeling it and trying to get some weight onto that leg, and Shields is helping it out as well as Razzle. They did a good job of blocking shots in their game against the Ducks earlier today to get to this championship final. Warriors go high off the boards, and they'll get something going here. Razzle trying to get it in. It's just outside center ice. Here's Jodry. Of course, we were talking about Jodry's folks. The pride of Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia. And they probably have family members watching back online here. Of course, Jodry's parents in the crowd. And it's interesting what to do is they never know which side, of course, the players are on, because this is a unique building where you have the players' benches on opposite sides. Don't often see that because this is a relatively old rink built back in 1927. They sit in the corner and they wait to see which side they're going to be coming out on, and then make their way over to either the side that you see the camera facing or the one that's just below us here in our broadcast position. Porter Kroll looking for some help there. Sparks comes in now. She'll chip it, but right there, Blues all back. 9:33 remaining here in the second period. A chip there by Sparks towards Hurley, and he'll cover up, not taking any chances. At this time, we want to say hello to Orrin and Diane Sangster. They are watching in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And of course, with the name Sangster, they are watching Jack Sangster, number 5, who plays for this Bedford Blues team. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, and I hope you're enjoying the nice weather. Hopefully it is a nice day for you to enjoy this. And a couple big saves there by Kroll as the horn is blown here in the crowd as they show some appreciation. They've got those air horns. It's going to be a loud afternoon, so make sure you better bring your headache pills, and it is going to be a loud building. If you were in a tighter building, like one of those little smaller arenas, man, it would be deafening, but the acoustics here at the Halifax Forum, it could be loud, and it just doesn't really make much of a difference here in our broadcast location. One of those ones where you'd almost like to have one of those things that read the decibel meters, of course, the reading of the audio. Let everybody know how loud it is here. Play back underway. Walsh has it in their center ice area. Jewett now. The size mismatch, and McCollum Messam taps the stick there, and well, that was almost a dangerous pass. They put it well out front, and that was Mr. Miller right on the doorstep. That's no cottage cheese, my friends. Really solid player, almost getting in the way in that passing lane, but that's what Greg McDonald was talking about, how smart IQ he has. On his Jets, William Shields. Haven't seen a lot of this. Backhand doesn't get through. And you can see the Blues there had 2 men right pretty well on him, stride for stride. Bouncing puck sent in. Fletcher settles it down, and Shields has it once again. This is where he turns on the afterburners, but Poirier steals it right off his stick. Miller trying to go down Main Street. Main Street's closed, says the West Hants Warriors. Sangster, fans on it. Just do get inside the blue line. Perrier was trying to get off for a change. Backhands it towards the corner. And now West Hants comes out to center ice area as we're coming up to the halfway point of period number 2 and halfway through this game. Right now, Blues leading by a score of 1-0 as they try to go back-to-back here at the PeeWee Championships. There's a 2-on-1 developing here. They try to get it to Amaro, driving towards the net there. And it was LeBlanc there trying to go on the 2-on-1. Had Amaro with him, but they really didn't get much of a shot on that 2-on-1 as Bell will go back. Amaro, the pass was behind him. Gathering up the Clan just outside the blue line. And the Blues come up with a lead pass up ahead. It's blocked by Davison. Now he has an extra step here on Bell. Davison now in the middle. Davison wrist shot. Blocked by Manning. Got right in the way. Blocker save there by Hurley. Hurley not really getting lots of pucks coming his way, but not really because of the lack of offensive chances here for the Warriors. It's more like the shooting lanes are being blocked. They're doing well of preventing pucks getting to the net. Blues doing it both ends, offensively and defensively. They have nothing, so they'll just send this down the ice, and they'll get a change started. Both teams will take advantage of it with 6:40 remaining. Remind everybody that coming up, of course, we'll have the closing ceremonies, the championship banner will be handed out, as well as the player of the game. Player of the games all weekend long, and this afternoon's championship game has been brought to you by Dexter Construction. McAmer tees it up, and McCarron was trying to get in the way again. Manning and McCarron have been very good at getting in those shooting lanes. Really nothing from 55 feet out here is getting through. It's just getting blocked. Hurley doesn't even have to contend with it. Spinning around is Mathers in his own zone. We have two Mathers. There's Mathers, Spitzer, wears number 12 for the Blues, and Manders, pardon me. So it's Manders that wears number 14, and Mathers there for the Blues, 12. Shields trying to get going, but he's trying to go through three players, and you may be tall and you may be a triple threat, but that won't go for you as the penalty is coming up, a delayed penalty. This one's going against the West Hants Warriors. And another Atlantic Acura power play coming up for the Bedford Blues. 5:50 remains in the period. It's a trip, and it's Giswald. Power play number 2 here for the Blues. They're 0 for 1. The big one here right now. Here in this second period. Nice little stick there by Fletcher. He gets in the way. Rousel tries to clear. Gets to the blue line no further. And it actually hits one of the players on the bench and then goes out of play. Outside the line it goes here with 1:46 remaining here in the power play. Another meeting of the minds at center ice, or pardon me, just inside the blue line. It's Miller and Shields. High fly ball, that actually hits one of the beams here and one of the lights. As Shields will try to go high with it and try to get it down. Unfortunate bounce, but they'll bring it right back to where they started from. Miller and Shields round 2. Trying to figure out a name to call the Blue fans here. Of course, you know how you have the Wolf Pack and you have the, fans' names and everything like that. Well, since they've got a musical note on the front of their jersey and it's blue, do you think you should call them the Blue Notes? Maybe we'll call them the Blue Notes. So lots of Blue Notes in the crowd here in this one. William Shields getting on his horse, lost the puck. And now back the other way, sending 4 wide are the Bedford Blues. Millet on this one. Backhand, Millet, and getting a piece of his cross shot, scores! Perrier. Power play goal, 10:08. Just want to correct myself. The Millet goal was on the power play in the first period. My apologies on that. 2-0. So you look at it. 2 for 2. They got to stay on the Bucks. One of the things that was really hurting the West Hants Warriors in the round robin is trips to the Bucks. They were constantly going to the Bucks in the game against Pictou and a little bit against Halifax, and they got in trouble penalty-wise against the Tassa Ducks in the round robin. They cleaned that up, but it's 2 times to the Bucks. 2 goals now for the Blues, 2-0 the score. 4:44 remaining here in the period, and they're pressing for more as Chandler was on the doorstep. Davison, Porter, Kroll. So let's see how the game plan changes here for Greg Riley and team. Will we see a lot of Shields? Here's another chance here. LaPlaw can't pull a trigger. Shot, scores! Sexter. Not much in terms of defensive help. This is an even strength goal. 10:39, 31 seconds after making it 2-0. It's 3-0 now for the defending champs. 2 goals, 23 seconds apart, and here they come again. Karen Emmanuel. And the Blues getting closer and closer to doing what the Gulls did, winning back-to-back championships. That was the first time in that league. For those that want to know, of course, going all the way back to 2015, we have not had back-to-back champions. Ducks won it in 15. East Hants Penguins 16. Pictou Crushers 17. Last year, Bedford Blues. And right now, there's a question mark of 2019, but it's getting closer and closer as every second goes off the clock for the Bedford Blues to go back-to-back. And the thing is, they don't have such a heavy turnover like the Tassa Ducks have. They only have about maybe 5 graduating players, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's what Greg McDonald told me there the other day, is that goes into netting, so that causes a stoppage in play. So the thing is, they just lose a little bit of players each year and just seem to rebuild. And Millett, Perrier, and Sangster. So the Sangster family in South Carolina may be watching this with the sun, 27 degrees, and they may be dancing back in their backyard. But hey, they're not going to tell us. 3-0 the score. LeBlanc and Millett, they're looking for more. LeBlanc, oh, and missed by much. And they keep coming. LeBlanc again trying to thread the needle there to Millett. He gets a piece, but Kroll squeezes the wickets in time to keep it a 3-goal game. 3:14 remaining here in the second period. Pretty good crowd on hand, the best crowd. Of course, the championship will do it. Lots of people have filled the stands here at the Halifax Forum. As I said, built back in 1927 on the former grounds of the Nova Scotia Provincial Exhibition. Badly damaged as a result of the Halifax explosion of 1917. And it has seen its share of sporting history as well as any other events that have been held here at the Halifax Forum. And if you walk through the hallways, it's well documented. Pictures of Danny Gallivan, as well as, even Reba McEntire performed at a concert here when she had the big hair. That's the night the lights went out in Georgia. So it has seen its share of memories, and the Blues trying to create another memory. Penalty coming up here to the Blues as they get possession. And this may be what the rock is cooking here for the West Hants Warriors as they need goals, and now they'll be going back on the Atlantic Acura power play as McCarron is going to go to the gate for interference. .223 remains here in the period. And it's been a day where late goals have come, so we're getting to the late stages here of this second period. And West Hants Warriors, they need a goal. They're trailing by 3. McCullough Messam gives Walt Sparks and Shields out there. There's a shot, a rebound, and post to post goes Hurley, and he makes the stop. The shot and the big rebound, and put it right on to the stick of William Shields, and he makes the stop. And Hurley a little bit shaken up after the play. Referee Tyler Whitley going to talk to him to make sure he's okay. And not sure what the response was, but Whitley's okay with it. So we'll have a face-off now with 2:07 remaining in the period. 1:44 left here in period number 2. Really, really important here maybe to get one here before the end of the period for the Warriors. if they're thinking about trying to make a game of it, trailing by 3, they really can't afford to give up one, but they need to score the next one. It may not have to be this period they do it, but they have to score the next one. McCullough Messam. Stick poked back outside the blue line. Fletcher couldn't get there in time to keep it inside the zone. Rink wide pass. Tape to tape here. Giswald, fans on it. Manders' wrist shot once again doesn't get through as Manning is putting on a shot blocking party. Just getting in the way. And speaking of getting in the way of that one, as it's flipped down the ice here by LeBlanc. Here's Miller now. Miller trying to go in. Giswald with the trip there as he went after the feet, not the puck. Giswald saying, I was going after the puck. I didn't touch his ankles. Manning and Giswald come together, and this will notify the power plays. We'll have 4-on-4 hockey now for 46 seconds and 1:05 remaining in the period. And this is where almost like, if you're the Bedford Blues, I'm sure Greg McDonald said, hey, go ahead, boys, we're going to have to be careful here. 4-on-4, sometimes shorthanded, and extra ice is really playing into William Shields, but he's been held off the score sheet again. One of the stories that was developing here during the weekend, as we have under a minute to go, is that Shields was battling the flu. Talking to the coaching staff, he says that they say that he's A-OK for today. Here's Millett now. He's got one. Looking for another, and Millett go well high into the net. They'll bring it outside the line. 4-on-4 for 16 seconds and 39 seconds remains in this period. When you really think about it, folks, this is really a championship game featuring two teams that it was not looking really good for them. At one point, the Blues were down by 2 in their semifinal, and the West Hants Warriors, well, they were having a hard time getting wins here in the round robin. They were actually probably trailing most of that game against Pictou as the penalty has expired, so it's an Atlantic Acura power play here for the Blues. Big loose puck. It's up for grabs. Nobody could get to it. And Manning can't have the good hands that time to keep it alive, but that's how this period will come to an end with 51 seconds carried over here into the third period. Goals by Millett, Perrier, and Sangster. Sangster has the Blues 15 minutes away from back-to-back championships, but standing in their way, the West Hants Warriors. 3-0 the score. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with third period coverage here of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championship Final on 360 Live. Giswalt will have 51 seconds remaining in his penalty here as we're seconds from getting underway, third period. And it is the Blues leading by a score of 3-0. Goals by Millett, Perrier, and Sangster. Hi, everybody. Dan Hobson. One final period or more, but it's going to be a comeback effort that the Warriors are going to have to do to make it more. Left here, the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Championships. We began Thursday with 7 teams, and now we're down to 2. Just waiting for the surface to dry up a bit before we have the third period. There's a lot of water down. It's a little warmer than usual here in this arena here today. If you're just joining us, power play goal there in the first period there by Millett at 13:35. The late stages, 1-0. And then 2 goals in a 23-second time span for the Blues have broke this open 3-0. Perrier in the power play, 10:08, and Sangster at 10:31. So that's where we stand. If you're just joining us here Sunday afternoon here from Halifax. William Shields, the top goal scorer, you could say in the mainland hockey league, but also pretty well the whole entire Nova Scotia Pee-wee League, all the teams competing here, and he has been held pointless. Blues want to keep it that way, but they really haven't allowed him any room to move. Power play here brought to you by Atlantic Acura. 35 seconds remains in it. McCarron now has it. Not sure if that passed for LeBlanc. No big deal. Miller will send a wrister that goes over the net there. And McCarron will be unable to hold the line there for the Blues. And now they'll have to go back in their own zone. 15 seconds remains in the penalty here. They go cross ice. Millett now. Miller trying to go up the middle. That's unsuccessful. And McCullum Messam will send it down the ice. And that will do it here for the power play for the Blues. So 5-on-5 right now as we come up to 1 minute gone here to period. Mackenber will go back for it. No icing. It's waved off. So he'll settle it down here. Try to get something going for the West Hants Warriors, trailing by 3. Chipped out to center ice there by Sparks. But the Blues well back. Sparks hoping to go the other way with it, but not that time. Players colliding near center ice areas. Loose puck up for grabs. Warriors will go back in their own zone. Up the center ice. Just outside the players' bench area is the Blues back defending. Sangster, who's got a goal here in this one. Back to Manning. Manning will send it around. A penalty coming up. This one's coming up to the West Hants Warriors. So they'll be back on the Atlantic Acura power play. The Blues are. I think I seen head contact being the possibility of the call. Yes, it is. 2 or 4. Mackenber. Just a minor penalty, just 2 minutes up on the board. And another reminder that power plays here at the championship have been brought to you by Atlantic Acura. And for every penalty that the Warriors have to kill, as the clock winds down, gets closer. Oh, getting a piece of it was Kroll there. It's a bouncing puck, but I think it was knocked down with a high stick and it's played, so play will continue on as West Hants were the first to touch after being knocked with a high stick by the blue player. So now we get in that situation. Of course, 15 minutes. It's a quick period. No doubt about it. Mander's trying to knock it down. And now the Blues, led by Perrier. And Giswalt picks that off. Goes for a stroll. And now looks like he'll try to go for a skate here. Puck out center ice area. Miller settles that bouncing puck down. Fresh ice, but still bouncing puck. Miller going in, a shot. And that's stopped there by Kroll. And he puts the blocker on to cover it and prevent anybody from whacking after the whistle, of course. And also a whack to try to put it past him and make it 4-0. So he puts that to bed. 2:49 gone here in the period, 1:02 remaining in the Mecklenburg head contact penalty. McCarron gets there. Millett actually opened the scoring way back there in the first period, late in the first period. Up with the puck there. And Shields, the offensive threat, will send it down. Blues now go rink wide. Still a bouncing puck, and the Warriors get out center ice area. Shields there going to force the issue. Penalty killing roll. Can he win this foot battle? 50-50 puck up for battle. And nice positioning there by Emmanuel. Emmanuel gets the center ice area. 17 seconds remain in the penalty. Puck was underneath Millett, and that allows Giswell to poke it. Or Roswell, pardon me. As Mecklenburg's in the box still for head contact. And now he joins the play and goes off for a change. So we are even strength now here in the third period as we come up to the 4-minute mark. Shields just not able to get anything going offensively. The Blues are all over him. Here he comes again. And once again, Miller getting in the way. Miller knows where to go, and that's according to his coach, Greg McDonald. Here comes Miller now, along with Perrier and Amaral. Amaral trying to go for the tip and can't. Really gets a sharp angle, but not much on the shot, and that's easy couple of stops there for Kroll. Shields with a shot, and the stop there by Hurley. Matthew Shields with that shot. Of course, during the championships, there's a lot of other officials, and of course, Riley Graham, Tyler Whitley, the referees, and Phil Patterson and Alan Alaker, of course, in charge of this one. There are other numerous officials throughout this, and they have done a fantastic job. We have not been able to get all the names, as it's a real short turnaround in between games, but I just want to say thank you to the officials, the Hockey Nova Scotia officials. Fantastic job here at the championships, and kudos to them. And really, Riley Graham and Tyler Whitley have done a great job here in this one and have tried to let the players determine the outcome. 9:56 remaining here. The dream season here of the West Hants Warriors getting closer and closer to coming to an end. But boy, this organization and this association should be really proud of their accomplishments. Not that I'm putting the final nail in the coffin, because I know there's lots of hockey left, but just if I don't get a chance to say it, kudos to them. A small organization with 43 people, and here they are, and they knocked the Giants out. The Tassa Ducks with 2 losses the entire season, going through tournaments and everything. But you know that Shields is going to have something to say. Blues players collide. Shields could have pulled the trigger and didn't. Might not have liked the shooting lane, but one of the Blues player goes into Hurley, and it was sort of like, a gathering of the clan, as this will go down the ice as the Blues need to get refocused, and they looked a little discombobulated after player collided with Hurley. Greg McDonald saying, let's get those quick changes now. We need the fresh legs out there. 8:56 remains here in this third period. Rousel as well as Shields up there looking for the puck. Manders as well. Blues get it, and here they come, led by LeBlanc. They're trying to feather a pass through Millett, who got in behind the D. Shields. Shearer now down low, but not for long as McCarron slaps it hard on the end around. Millett goes high, but too high, and is well over the glass, and Of course, with protective netting in arenas, it's rare to see it go into the crowd, but it did. And of course, when you're at a championship game, you have an extra official that is actually in the penalty box area overlooking things in case there is a injury or anything like that. And a chance to talk to him before the game. And we talk about players being underneath the weather. Well, that's the situation for this young man talking to him. Nice little sharp dress suit. He was saying, well, I had the text saying I wouldn't be able to make this morning's game. So here he is as the backup official in case something happens in this one. And sent the message, hey, I'm feeling a little better. I'm good to go. Goes to show you how much passion he has for the game as that has been sent down. They've iced the puck, the Blues have, as we are getting close to that halfway point of period number 3. And I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Warriors have to score the next one to try to make a game out of it. Shields now shot, and Hurley gets a piece. A set-up play there by the Warriors, and they almost cashed in. McAmber has to gamble here and does, and he wins this time. Shields can't pull the trigger. He's going through the middle, and there's 3 white jerseys there. There was almost a pass picked off there by Davison, but the Blues get it out to center ice. Close couple of calls there. Davison goes down as Mathers gets in the way. Nitty-gritty time here at the Halifax Forum. And back the Blues come the other way. Emmanuel now going wide, all by himself there. Blues have a little bit of what you can say is a 1-3-1. Really not trying to force anything offensively, and it's really good strategy. And that's the reason why you can't get Shields broke open here in this game. 1 man in and 2 right along the blue line. A 1-3-1 set up. Now the Blues are going to get on the attack here as Miller goes in behind the net. Sets up Chandler. Chandler can't pull the trigger. Nice defensive play there by the Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia native, Jodry. McCollum Messam pounds his stick down in disgust as the Blues continue to put the pressure on and take seconds off the clock. 6:13 remain, and it finally goes down the ice. Give the Warriors credit for the turnaround that they had, because they said anytime we try to be a little more flashy-dashy and don't keep it simple, we pay the price. They have kept it simple. They just so far have been unable to stay in the box. Couple power play goals, a little bit of a difference here in this one. And they have shut down William Shields. 49 goals in the regular season and nothing here. And he had nothing yesterday in their game against the Tassa Ducks, an 11-0 loss. So it was a turnaround, but maybe the fairy tale ending is not going to happen here for this organization that is full of pride in having the dream season. And even the coaching staff have said, we never expected this, and this is a season that it may not be repeated. It is unlike the Blues. It could be just a one season and have to take another run at it in a 3 or 4 years type of thing because of the numbers. 5:21 remain. Pictou County Crushers, who were winless at this championships there. They were the second place team in the league that the Warriors play in. Nova Scotia Mainland Hockey League. Hosting the Atlantics. Warriors were hoping to go, but once again, the lane is shut down, is getting in the way. That time was Mathers again for the Bedford Blues. Just no open ice here for Shields to get going. And it's really hard to get anything offensively when your big offensive star is pretty well shut down. Puck out to center ice here. Here's Millett now on a breakaway. Millett going in on Kroll. And Kroll with the stop. It's a big one now because I said if that went in, it probably would have been dagger. Game, set, match. Puck in the corner. They'll send it over to the far side boards. 4:20 remains. Wrist shot, and that grazes the crossbar by Miller. Oh my, once again, close calls, but still 3-0. McCullough Messam going to try to join the rush here. They need offense. Whether you lose by 3 or 4, you're still going to lose, so maybe take some chances here. And Kroll makes a stop. It's inside the blue ice, shot, and a play by Roswell. Rousel made that play and kept it out, and Kroll is trying to spin around. He's like a fish out of water right now. A little discombobulated, but Rousel saved a goal. Back towards the play. Big play there. He's had some big plays. He had a great game against the Ducks, more known offensively, but he saved a goal that time. They're not going down without a fight. This West Hants Warrior team. 3:15 remaining. The clock getting to be an issue as Mackenberg goes back. A chip in there by Chandler is covered up there by Kroll. Officials and linesmen talking to the players and getting in there. 3:04 remains. Once again, you'll hear the Blues fans, the Blue Notes, as I am going to come to call them. Chandler trying to kick it to a stick and can't. Perrier sends it down in the corner and around. Last couple of seasons, everybody's talking about how strong the Ducks have, and pretty well an afterthought has been the Blues, and 17 and 8 coming into the championships. 18-7-3, just to be more precise. And here they are, minutes away from claiming back-to-back provincial championships, and Hurley has to make a stop. 2:28, and you could sort of see that the Blues fans and the Blues organization want to jump out of their seats as soon as the championship is, but this team has composure. They're not concerned about it. They're going to wait until that clock does expire. Now, if you're Greg Riley, what's your game plan here? It's a 3-goal game. Whether you lose by 3 or 4, you're still going to, you need to maybe take chances, get that other skater out there. Let's see how he plays the remaining 2 minutes left here in this one. LeBlanc, Millet, and Emmanuel out there. Killing seconds. The time winding down on the West Hants Warriors season. Puck inside the West Hants Warriors zone. Here's Sparks now. Hopefully trying to get a spark, trying to set up Leopold. And they may look pretty good in a Kings Edge Hill uniform. A solid high school program. Here's Emmanuel making a couple nice moves. Emmanuel can't pull the trigger as we come up to 1:15 remaining here at the championships. The Bedford Blues began with a win there on Thursday night. And then they had a tie. Things were starting to look like they may come off the rails for them with that tie to Halifax. And then just escape a win against the Crushers. A 3-0 win against the Crushers as we're under a minute to go. And all of a sudden, more noise, and the parents and fans as McDonald is cheering them on. And they are standing up and they are applauding. And I hope that maybe the West Hants Warrior fans are doing the same as well. What a job that they have done to get here. But, they just didn't have enough thoroughbreds to get to win that race as things are starting to wind down. Walsh now will send it back, and they'll be happy just to go behind their goal. The 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Champions, the Bedford Blues. Back-to-back championships here for Greg McDonald, Peter McIsaac, and Matt Wombold. Managers Michelle Gauguin. Won it last year at St. Margaret's Bay Arena. And they have won it here at the historic Halifax Forum. And Hurley with a shutout, 3-0. As the teams make handshakes here, we want to thank the host committee for such a fantastic job of putting on championships. It's not easy. It relies on a lot of hours, a lot of bodies to do it, and they have pulled it off in grand style. Congratulations to the Halifax Hawks for hosting a fantastic championship. Congratulations to the West Hants Warriors here. A season they'll never forget in their young hockey careers. And as some of them move on, they're going to go in different directions. Some will go, of course, there's female players on this team. Tanea Sparks, Sarah Leopold, and Ava Shearer maybe go on to play female hockey elsewhere. Maybe they'll go on to Major Bantam. Wherever they go, whatever path they take them, wherever program that gets them, they're going to get some great kids, great people, and a great coaching staff led by Greg Riley. And the manager is Chris Shields. So here we are, once again, one final player of the game presentation being brought to you by Dexter Construction. And the third period has been brought to you by Cushman Wakefield. Robert McCullum-Essen will get the player of the game. Hurley gets the player of the game, and they went back and forth with Hurley and Albert. And talking to Greg McDonald, he said, anytime I needed a win, Nicholas Albert got it for me, but his main man has been Jackson Hurley, player of the game here in this one. Final words here by the presentation committee here at the Provincial Championships. So we want to thank, of course, everybody for tuning in here to 360 Live here for the championships. They're going to present the hardware here. So we want to thank Neil Gordon for his hard work here throughout the entire weekend. He's been manning the camera. Thank you to the tournament organizing committee. And 360 Live, we're moving on as we've got Atlantics coming up in a couple of weeks. So tune in, of course, go to the website for 360 Live to find out more about the hockey coverage we've got coming your way. So for the entire crew here at the Halifax Forum, my name is Dan Hobson, signing off for one final time here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships. And once again, congratulations to the Bedford Blues, back-to-back champions. So long from Halifax.